Hare Krishna. So we'll read one shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, 27th chapter, titled as Understanding the Material Nature. Here Kapila Dev is instructing to his mother, Devahuti. You can see his picture. Kapila Dev is instructing to Mata Devahuti. Kapila Dev is Lord Krishna's incarnation, Bhagavan. So here Kapila Dev is saying to Mata, Kapila Dev, Bhagavan Vacha प्रकृतिस्थो अपि पुरुषो नाज्याते प्रकृते गुणे अविक्राद् अकर्तृत्वं निर्गुणात्वज जलाकृतं जलार्कवात्. So Bhagavan Kapila Dev is saying प्रकृतिस्थो अपि पुरुषो नाज्यते प्रकृते गुणे अविकारद कृत कर्त निर्गुणा व्रज जलर कवत. Jalar akavat. Jala means water. Akavat means like sun. So analogy यहाँ पे here given is that the sun, there is a sun in the sky, and the sun is reflected in the water. Now, sun, even though appears to be on the water, sun is not in the water, right? Sun is in the sky, and the movement of the water does not affect the sun. Even though on the water, the sun appears to be moving, but it is not. Similarly, person who is situated in bhakti, in devotional service, even though appears to be in this material world, just looks like all of us, but is not affected by the material world. You understand this? So here that principle is explained by Kapila Dev. So bhakti is so powerful that it makes you unaffected by the material things. That is the power of bhakti. Usually when people, something wrong happens, they get disturbed. But when you are situated in bhakti, you don't get disturbed. So here, that is what Kapila Dev is saying. The personality of Godhead, Kapila Dev continued. When the living entity is thus unaffected by the modes of material nature, because one is not affected by the material modes of nature. So there are three modes of nature: Sattva Guna, Raja Guna, and Tama Guna. So when we are situated in bhakti, we are not affected by all these modes of nature. Because why that happens? You are not affected. Why you are not affected? Because the soul is unchanging. Because Atma, when it is united with Paramatma, it becomes very stable, unchanging, and does not claim the proprietorship. When you are situated in bhakti, you don't claim that this all belongs to me, because you know everything is belonging to Krishna. He remains apart from the reactions of material modes. So then, when the soul, you understand, I'm not this material body, but I'm soul, then you don't get affected by victory or loss. Because you know that, okay, like sun, not affected by change in the water. Similarly, when you are with Krishna, your duty is to serve Krishna, then whatever victory, loss, defeat, success, it's all part of life. Right? Water is going to move. Is that right? Water is not going to be stable. These things are going to happen. We are always going to serve Krishna. That is our stable nature. Just as the sun remains aloof from its reflection on the water. You got the idea, right? It's a very nice shloka. Huh? So Kapila Dev is saying to Mata Devati here, Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Prakriti Stho Api Purusho. Prakriti means nature, material nature. There are Sattva Guna, Raja Guna, Tamo Guna, nature. Prakriti Stha Api Purusha. Purusha is the Atma, soul, living entity. Na ajyate prakriti gune, na ajyate. Ajyate means not affected by. Na ajyate prakriti guna. Doesn't matter. Then says avikarad. Avikarad means without change. Avikarat akartatvat. Akartatvat means freedom from proprietorship. If good thing happens, it's because of Krishna, and bad thing happens, whatever Krishna wants. There might be something good in it. That is why the bad is happening. So vikaradvat akartatvan nirguna jvaj jala kavat. Nirguna what? Nirgunatvat means not affected by jala or karvat. Jala means water, akarvat means the sun. So you got the whole shloka, right? So translation is, you want to read the translation now?
The personality of Godhead, Kapila continued. When the living entity is thus unaffected by the modes of material nature, because he is unchanging and does not claim proprietorship, he remains apart from the reaction of the modes, although abiding in a material body, just as the sun remains aloof from its reflection on water.
Right? So Kapila Dev is explaining to Mata Devati, and then Srila Prabhupada ji is explaining that in little bit in detail. In the previous chapter, Lord Kapila Dev has concluded that simply by beginning the discharge of devotional service, one can attain detachment and transcendental knowledge for understanding science of God. Here, the same principle of bhakti is mentioned, confirmed. So, when we are engaged in the bhakti, then vairagya automatically comes, and Gnan also comes. Gnan and Vairagya, they are children of Bhakti. When you get Bhakti, you do not have to develop separately Vairagya. Vairagya automatic part of it. Because you know nothing belongs to me, everything belongs to Krishna. What is the point? So that is Gnan and Vairagya comes automatically with Bhakti. That is why Bhakti is supreme. Bhakti means doing everything, whatever we have for the pleasure of Krishna. Whatever sharir we have, we use it for his service, his pleasure. A person who is detached from the modes of material nature remains just like sun reflected on water. When sun is reflected on the water, movement of the water or coolness or unsteadiness of the water cannot affect sun. Similarly, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita, when one is engaged fully in service of activities of devotional service, Bhakti Yoga, he becomes just like sun reflected on water. So then no worries. Krishna will take care, whatever. We'll keep on doing our work. It's not that we are going to be lazy. We'll do our seva, whatever we have to do. Get up early in the morning, come into the temple, take darshan, do arti, puja, kirtan, chanting, read Bhagavatam, offer bhoga to Krishna, take prasadam, do our whatever the work you are doing. Come back in the evening, do arti, puja, read Bhagavad Gita, chant, go to sleep. This is what we are supposed to do. Whatever Krishna wants. In this whole process, everything we did it for pleasure of Krishna. So he is the one. So there is no anxiety. Even if water moves, we are not going to move. Even though the whole world is disturbed, we know whatever Krishna wants. It's Krishna mercy. Although a devotee appears to be in the material world, actually is in a transcendental world. Huh? Sun appears to be in the water, but it is not in the water. We, all the devotees are in the material world, but we are not in the material world. We are in the spiritual world because we are with Krishna now. As the reflection of the sun appears to be on the water, but it is millions of miles away from the water. One engaged in bhakti yoga is nirguna, not affected by the modes of material nature. Sattva guna, rajoguna, tamoguna. A devotee is not affected by that because he is always engaged in service of Krishna. Here, the word avikara means without change. It is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita that each and every living entity is part and parcel of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, and thus his eternal position is to cooperate or dovetail his energy with Supreme Lord. Avikara. This word is being explained by Srila Prabhupada that we are always part and parcel of God. Atma is part of Paramatma. Like you are part of your father or mother. You always like that. Because it cannot be changed. Similarly, Atma is always part of Krishna. So, what is the duty of Atma? To serve Paramatma. So, as soon as he employs his energy and activities for sense gratification, that is called vikara. Vikara means एक प्रकार when जब बीमारी when we got sick, it is called vikara. है ना? So, what is the vikara? Vikara means going away from the normal position. That is vikara. Our normal position is to serve Krishna. And instead of serving Krishna, what are we doing? We are serving this body. That is a vikara. Similarly, even in this material body, when he practices devotional service under the direction of spiritual master, he comes to the position which is without change because that is natural duty. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, liberation means reinstatement in one's original position. This original position is one of the rendering service to Supreme Lord, Bhakti Yoga, Yogena Bhaktya. When one becomes detached from the material attraction and engages fully in the devotional service, that is changeless. So, our real identity is to serve Krishna. So, how do we serve Krishna? So, remembering by bhakti. By bhakti means how? So, remembrance of Krishna, chanting Krishna's name, taking Krishna's darshan, doing arati, puja, kirtan, reading about him, helping devotees who are engaged in service of Krishna. Like you got so many devotees like yourself coming. It is my duty to serve you. Then when I serve you, I get opportunity to serve Krishna. Like that. So this is all our opportunities to do bhakti. Akartavat means not doing anything for sense gratification. Akartavat. So this is a very important word. So freedom from proprietorship is very important. When one does not at his own risk, when one does something at his own risk, there is sense of proprietorship and there is a reaction. But when one does everything for Krishna, there is no proprietorship over the activity. So we are all, everybody is trying to be the boss. That is called proprietorship. Everybody wants to be controller. There is a sense of Aishwarya Bhava. Everybody wants to be the in charge. But who is the real in charge? Parameshwara, Krishna. By chainless and by not claiming the proprietorship of activities, one can immediately situate himself in transcendental position, which in which one is not touched by modes of nature, just as the reflection of the sun is not affected by water, right? So as soon as we start understanding, oh, everything belongs to Krishna, this body belongs to Krishna, this mind, intelligence, everything belongs to Krishna. then we are just like a sun, which is not affected by the change in the water. Similarly, uh, when we are engaged in service of Krishna, then we are always in service of Krishna and not affected by any such changes, right? So it's a beautiful shloka where Kapila Dev is explaining to Mata Devahuti about the Prakriti. Prakriti is very powerful, but and Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that Mama Maya Durataya. This Prakriti nature is so powerful that it's very difficult to overcome. But but Lord Krishna says that Mama eva prapadyante Maya metam tarantite. But one who surrenders to Krishna, then tarantite. Tarantite means immediately crossover. Huh? So if we really want to be free from anxiety, then whatever we do is for service of Krishna. Then Krishna will always look after us. We are spirit soul, we are not this body. Body is a covering given to us. And when we understand this, that is called avikara. And vikara means thinking that I am the body, false identification. So when you think that, oh, I am the body, then everything related to the body becomes your problem, right? Somebody says your body is not good. Okay, now it's your problem. Somebody criticizes you, that is, he is criticizing this body, that becomes your problem. Then this body is suffering, there is a disease, now it is your problem. But when you think that, okay, body has a problem, I am soul, I'm eternal, I'm free. Like, you have a problem, I don't have any problem. Right? Doesn't matter to me what happens to you because I'm separate from you. Right? Similarly, when we think that okay, I am separate from the soul, I'm soul and I'm separate from the body. The body is I know body has a problem. It's going to have some problem. So we become kind and compassionate about it and don't worry about it. Right? So it's a beautiful shloka of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll pause here. We'll